Hello, Internet. This is Ewan Spence and ESC Insight calling. Slightly different show this week, but let's talk about Eurovision. Yeah, you know what? We'll just fade it out there. Things are going to happen in the show, but we start off with good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're well and healthy and being sensible. It's an interesting week in the world, all round, with the coronavirus impacting everything, and that includes in a very small part of the world is Eurovision Song Contest. It's due to be broadcast to me, as we all know. There are many questions on what is going to happen with the impact of coronavirus, not just in Eurovision, but on the world, on society, much bigger and larger things than our contest. But, you know, the contest is something people look forward to, like sports, music festivals, major events. So it's understandable that it is uppermost in your minds, or at least one of the things that you're thinking about. And look, it's till the middle of May, but they've got to start building stuff in the first week in April to get everything ready. They've got to have delegations coming from not just across Europe, but somehow from Australia, even though there are no flights out of Australia to the international hubs. There's so much going on that even as I record this podcast, by the time I get to the end of recording, part of me's thinking, well, something else will have changed to unbalance everything. So let's take the smartest answer possible. I don't know. The best place to look is on the official website, Eurovision.tv. That's where anything's going to be communicated. Looking at communities and chats and other people talking, that's not necessarily where you're going to get your official news. Your official news is going to come from the official pages of the website. Now, just before we went to air, we had a short statement coming up on the official website, and actually it was from the official Twitter account, but it's got the blue tick, so you know it's them. It's twitter.com/Eurovision. Let me read it in full. We know you're anxiously waiting news about the future of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. With the constantly changing situation regarding coronavirus, a large number of people to consult, every important element needs to be taken into consideration. Please bear with us. We hope to have more information shortly. That's it. Let's bear with the EBU. Let's wait for the news to come through. In the meantime, we do have some stuff from the last 7 days. So we're going to talk about the two countries that have selected. We're going to look at some of the revamps that have come up from the countries. We're going to talk about the impact that we've had on the events in the Eurovision world. But we'll put an asterisk beside all of that, which is exactly what you know it is. It's an asterisk of we don't know. Watch the official sources. So with all that taken into consideration, let's have a look back over the last 7 days. Okay, so obviously no more national finals. All the songs had to be submitted to the EBQ, along with the stems, the bits of the songs, the karaoke versions, stage plans, official videos, all of that had to be done. Now, you didn't have to announce that publicly. You just had to hand it over to the EBU. So we didn't hear the songs from Russia or Azerbaijan till after the heads of delegation meeting, but they had been submitted. Russia, of course, we knew the band was going to be Little Big, so their song has debuted now. It's called Uno, and you can clearly see that they're trying to get the TikTok memes going, the dance moves going on as well. You can watch the video at the official youtube.com/Eurovision for all the videos as well. Moving on to Azerbaijan, the mystery of Cleopatra has been answered. This is a song that the community has long heard about, little rumours and the occasional snippets. There's been a demo track sitting around in the dark corners as well, and we've all been wondering if we'd hear it this year, where it would end up, and it's ended up with Azerbaijan. Effendi is going to be singing Cleopatra, and if you look at the video, you probably have an idea of how big a kitchen sink is going to be thrown at this, and basically it's the kitchen sink, and if you look inside it, there's another kitchen sink. It's almost recursive, but I think there's only two of them. You're only allowed 6 people on stage, so you can't have the huge number of people that you do have in the video. But there you go. Other than that, we've got a couple of revamps and everything. Let's have a look at those just now. Okay, Armenia, there's a revamped version of Chains on You that's come from Athena Manukian. It's accompanied by the music video, very dark, moody, blue and red lights. There's a diamond scaffolding in the middle of the stage, which I suspect is the prop they would want in the main contest. As always, youtube.com/Eurovision for the main videos. Croatia has submitted and published the revamp of Dviji Vetra from Damikedzo. It's staying in Croatian. There was a question about the language change in there. There's not going to be in one. I'll jump ahead to Serbia in the alphabetical order because Hasta La Vista from Hurricane is also staying native language, so it's Serbian there again. A question about moving that to English. And curiously, Slovenia had that one as well. Was Voda going to go to English or was it going to stay in Slovene? It's going to stay in Slovene. It's had a reworking as well. Budapest Art Orchestra has pitched in with that one. It's been submitted to the EBU. We haven't actually heard that one yet. We've got a 30-second public snippet from the broadcaster, but the full 3 minutes, it's going to come at some point in the future. Finally, let's scroll back up the list when it's not about language, is the Czech Republic. Benny Christo did have a revamp that he submitted to the EBU, but online feedback has led them to make the consideration to ask for a waiver so they can put in a second revamp to the EBU, even though it's after the heads of delegation meeting deadline. EBU has given that waiver, so the second revamp is the one that Benny Christo is going to sing, and as always, for this podcast, that's available at the YouTube channels as well. Although we are waiting on news of the song contest itself, we do have news of the preview parties, and essentially they have been postponed across the board. Israel Calling, ES Pre-Party, Eurovision in Concert, and London Eurovision Party have all been postponed, essentially due to government restrictions that have been put in place in the respective countries. So if you are planning to attend those and you have tickets for any of those events, do check the website of the party itself. Details will be forthcoming about what's happening with those. It's fair to point out that these are fan-led concerts. There's going to be a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things going on. There's real life to deal with as well. They are all fully aware that the tickets have been bought and people have been looking forward to these concerts. So they will get back in touch with you. It may take some time. Bear with them. Keep your sensible head on. Everything will be sorted. Everything will be fine. Just give everybody a bit of time. We got some bit of action back on the ESC Insight website as well. Ellie is still working through and the final edit of her journey through Finland up to Tampere and the UMK national final that was at the start of the month. Ben Robertson has done a little bit of what-ifing around one of the potential that the Eurovision community has been talking about for May. And of course, first episode of Jukebox Jury was posted last weekend as well. Keep an eye on our Twitter and Facebook account, twitter.com/ESC Insight, facebook.com/ESC Insight. We're going to surface some old articles, remind you of other things to read. Also flag up that we have ESC Buzz up and running as well every few minutes. The ESC Buzzbee Buzzbot. Not quite sure on the branding yet. We'll head off around the world of Eurovision on Twitter to find out what the main websites, leading voice in the community and the community itself is talking about, and retweet it all at twitter.com/ESC Buzz, BUZZ. And finally, don't forget, if you're down in London and South East England, we're on the podcast radio as well, broadcasting across London and South East England on DAB. If you're not inside the transmission area, the podcastradio.co.uk, you'll hear ESC Insight there. And also, you'll hear a whole bundle of other podcasts if you're looking to discover new content, get into new shows, wanting a bit of a sampler. And let's face it, the way the world is looking, you might be looking for new content. Then the podcastradio.co.uk. May we suggest that. Dates for the calendar. There's no more national finals. We don't have any dates. And everything is changing as we speak. So that's it. The news from the Eurovision world for the last 7 days is keep calm. We're taking our time. We're going to make decisions. We'll let you know as soon as possible. That's true all the way down the chain. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your patience. We'll be back here in a week's time with the news podcast. Keep an eye on the website for more content. Keep an eye on social media for the shorter discussions. But for now, we have our guitars. We have at least one constant. Ta-ra for now. Stay safe. The ESC Insight News podcast this week was written and hosted by Ewan Spence. More Eurovision? www.escinsight.com.